and they out of the remnants of the Titans, the ash that's left over, that's where humanity comes from. So in this version of the myth, we have humanity as the product of this sort of brutal, natural, somewhat evil, evil side, and this divine side as well. And we have Dionysus as almost like a Christ-like figure in that it's his essence that makes the divine and human. So he's got this link to humanity that the other gods don't in this particular story. Um, Meanwhile, I think Demeter, Demeter, what was the series, however you want to name her, I think she's the one. She manages to find his heart in and amongst all the things, and she takes his heart and sort of resurrects him from that heart. So he comes back. Perhaps that's the third birth. I'm not sure
Mm.
if that's the reference there. But he comes back again, and at that point, I think we don't really know, um, or at least I couldn't find anything. But in this paper by this scholar, Nicola Moretu, she then links to these bits of gold that were left over. Trying to see if I can find more details of my notes here, but I don't think I have them. Um, these golden leaves that were left over the mouths and the chests of some burial chambers, mounds in a Greek colony in what's now Ukraine. So sort of a satellite thing, but the um the leaves had a text written on them that was instructions on what to do when you die. Um, and so they let's see if it says. So these are, they believe, part of the Orphic rites. So again, we have a link to Orpheus and Dionysus. Sort of the Orphic rites is carrying this old myth of Dionysus. Um, and these leaves would tell the people that when when they die, and they're going down into Hades, into the underworld, um, there will be a spring on the right side, and standing by the spring is a white cypress. And most of the souls that go to the underworld will go to that spring to refresh themselves because the dead are very thirsty.
Mm.
And so they just kind of run and they get water as soon as they can find it. And the advice is do not go to that spring. Ahead of it, you will find a lake of memory where cold water is pouring forth, and there are guards. If you go up to the guards and they will ask you what you are seeking, you say, I am the son of earth and starry sky. I am parched with thirst and I am dying. Quickly grant me cold water from the lake of memory to drink. And these guardians will announce you to the Chthonian king, the ruler of the underworld, who in this case it's suggested is Dionysus. Um, and they will let you drink from this lake of memory. And having drunk, you will go along the sacred road on which the other, in the underworld, you drink the memory, you'll remember things, and you'll go along the sacred road where the other glorious initiates and Bacchae travel. So there you have sort of, I think that's why they sort of suggest this might be Dionysus, is because it does link to the Bacchae, the Bacchantes, the sort of wild
Mm.
worshippers of Bacchus Dionysus.
Mm.
Um, so it's very interesting to me that you have this whole other side myth. And I think in those days, you didn't have, you had papyrus, but you didn't have printing presses, and you certainly didn't have any forms of communication that went beyond sort of mouth to mouth for the most part. And so you could go, a couple islands over or across the Mediterranean, and they would have grown an entirely different culture around the sort of basic forms of the divinities. And so I don't know if this was a parallel thing or, like I said, an older thing, but it is fascinating to me that we have these sort of two versions of Dionysus, to the point that the Orphic hymn even references him as double-natured. Um, And if he is both Lord of the Underworld and later comes back via Semele in the story that you told and has to go to the underworld and negotiate for his mother's freedom, it's this um like journey of himself to petition himself as Hades to let his new mother go. Um, I love the symbolism. I just can't. It doesn't paint a rational picture, but it's still you see these patterns echo through it, and I really like that.
Hmm.
So I don't know, I'll stop there if you